All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Steve Remy with Geezer Cycling. And next up on the race menu here, we've got the California Bicycle Racing CBR Race number 3. This is the 50 plus first race of the day. And it was a pretty crazy race. First race, or first part of the race. Some good attacks, people trying to get off, stay away. We actually had I bridged up to about 4 or 5 guys in a break. And then a couple guys bridged up to us. Next thing you know, we have about a 9-man break. And the big thing was Kevin Phillips there, the series leader in the yellow there. He had his teammate up there just kind of on my wheel. So every time I pulled to the front, he just would stop. The whole line just kind of stopped. So with 9 guys, you had about 4 in there that couldn't do anything, and they just kind of sat on and peeled off, and it kind of disrupted the whole break. So we kind of just floated back to the pack, and this is actually coming up right here. This is a little treat for you. This is the second sprint points. So the first one I wasn't part of because I was too far back. Didn't realize it was a sprint for points. Not really going for the points because I'm going to be gone for a race anyway. But this is a sprint for overall points. So I just decided to give it a shot here, kind of test my legs. I felt pretty good. We caught those 2 guys, passed Kevin and Anthony Freeman there, got the most points available. So next here is it was kind of a weird race. With about 5 to go, our team pretty much lined up, getting me ready for the sprint. And a lot of work done from Jon Nist, Adam Beno, and Mathew Carinio, and of course Chris DeMarchi right in front of me. And it's what happened is there was a crash with like 3 to go. So they stopped the whole race, cleared off the guys. One of the guys just kind of was floating back in the pack, looked one way, drifted the other, hit his teammate, and crashed about 6 guys. So word to the wise, you should not be looking around if you're being swarmed by the pack. Keep your head straight, ride a straight line. It's pretty simple. But that's what we're doing here. So they restarted us, and they restarted us with 5 to go when the crash was when they stopped us at 3 to go. So that was pretty wonky there. Didn't know why they did that, but anyway, we decided just to kind of continue the same thing. So our guys are at the front here. Adam Beno's leading it with Mathew, Chris, and then we got a couple of attacks there from Kenny. You can see in the back, this is where it starts getting kind of. I'm just glad I wasn't back there. I talked to Kevin after the race. He just said it was just nutso behind me, and definitely it takes a lot more energy than if you have your team leading out. Here you got guys, if you look in the back view here, it's going to start to kind of, I even get a little swarmed here, and my main goal is just to hold Chris's wheel. He's going to be my last lead out. So Chris is kind of directing everyone. You got Aaron Levin here up on I've raced with Aaron. He was actually on our team. I raced with him a lot up in Washington and in Oregon, and just a great bike handler. So I don't mind him being close and kind of sharing a little bit of air with him. But I still got to keep my legs like as prime and 100% as I can here. So main goal here is just to stick with Chris, keep the tempo, not too hard, just because we only had 3 guys up there, so I didn't want to blow everyone out. So just keep them to where they could at least do something and keep everyone in back. You can see in back there, Kevin's really kind of getting bumped around, tapping Chris Hahn there. Chris kind of lets him by. You know, I got to say one thing for the most part. This race was, looking back at that and actually looking at Sean Bagley's video, man, that was just nuts back there. Sean almost got caught up in a wreck and getting swarmed. And if you're not up here in the top 5 or 6, you know, it's so easy if the pace is not really strung out. We didn't have enough guys to really string it out. You know, we were trying to do the best we can with about 3 or 4 guys. There's Jon Nist. He kind of pulls off, did his pull. He's done. Then we got Mathew Carinio here, and he just pulls like an animal. Just I think he goes for like a whole lap and a half or something like this. Here you got Kevin behind me. So Matt's kind of stringing it out a little bit more now. So you can tell it's a little bit safer here. And I'm telling him just to slow down just a bit because I don't want to use him up. I got to save Chris for as long as I can. That's kind of my main goal. So I'm talking to Chris. Chris is talking to Mathew. I don't want to use him up too fast. So I believe this is coming up with like 1 to go here, 1 or 2 to go. Here comes Aaron again. Aaron's coming up. This is kind of where it starts getting a little bit dicey behind me. Aaron comes up here. I give him a little bit of a rest. I know he's working hard in there. I don't mind watching the inside a little bit while giving him a little bit of air. So I think this is 2 to go now. Coming up with 2 to go. Matthew's still out front. Aaron's still on my side there. Kevin's behind me. There's Bart. Wonder what happened to Bart. I think he got caught up in just all the hoopla, kind of what Sean did there. And you can see Bart here moving up on the inside. So he's got good position right there. Kevin kind of takes it back a little bit. If I was Bart, I probably would have pushed that right into the corner and taken my wheel because he could have gotten it right there. One good thing about these top guys here, you can see, is that they're pretty courteous. I mean, we're all 50-year-olds. We 50-plussers. We want to go home. We need to work the next day. So we'll give and take a lot more than if you hop in one of the pro races. Now, Kevin sends a guy up here to kind of help us out, which is good. So I could hear him talking to his guy, go up and help out. So I yelled at Chris. We got some guy coming up to help. Chris tells Mathew. So we let him come up here, which takes a little bit off Mathew. Mathew's still in front. So he's working on, I think, 2 laps in front now, just giving everything he's got, which is just crazy. So starting to speed up a little bit more. So this guy's definitely, which is great, right? He's got 2 guys there, and this guy takes a flyer. Wasn't really worried about him. I knew Chris would be able to stake, but right at the same time here is when this guy, that guy kind of stops. Matthew's cooked, and then this is where Chris just takes it over. This is where it gets super fun. I mean, you could tell he's working hard. He just wants to catch this guy. I wish I had a back rear view camera of that guy. Of Chris coming up, that would be pretty badass. So at this point, I was kind of telling Chris just kind of hang on here a little bit, and I knew because we slowed up in here a little bit, and this was fine. So this is where Kevin's teammate comes up. Kevin takes the inside. They want to try and lead it out again. I told Chris here just stay on his wheel. I think. And to Chris, that means go for it. So Chris wants to lead it out. So we come over the top of him and go into this corner full speed right here. We're jamming pretty hard. So I yell at Chris, go. He's going full bore. Kevin's waiting behind me. We're going pretty good here. I was thinking of jumping early, but I wanted to cover that inside a little bit and just wanted to rest a little bit more. Yell at Chris again. Let's go. He just digs a little bit more. For doing that, just try and get maybe another 2 or 3% out of him. Here's Kevin passes me, and then I feel pretty good here, so I just decided to go as hard as I can and pass him at the line. It was a great race. Pretty fun. And congrats to Kevin and everyone else out there. And welcome, Geezer Cycling.